Hi, I'm John from SurfFX. I'm with Jake Jensen. Today we're looking at a big red board.
The Red Rocket. The Falcon this year, I've had a lot of development in this board. This is my favourite board, ocean style racing, that's what I love to do. Compared to last year's model, big changes. We've widened the tail. I've always wanted to widen the tail, especially when downwind surfing. That wide tail gives you a lot more surfability when you step on the tail in the downwind runs. With that just fairly pinned tail, when you step back it tends to stall, especially when you're surfing and that. But this year we've widened the tail, giving more parallel outlook on the board and increasing that volume in the back end of the board, so when you do step on that tail, it's still nice and firm and you still got that acceleration.
We had a big change we noticed putting the board last year's and this year's on top of each other, that as you come back in the board from about this point here, they really stay a lot noticeably wider and then tuck in narrow in the tail. So it is a much more stable platform than last year.
Yeah, so volume wise we've increased the volume again to help the ocean feel. In the ocean and especially in downwind conditions, volume is the key factor. So we've beefed up the front end of the board as well as the tail to give a bit more buoyancy in the water. And we've rounded the nose out a bit more too, so basically when we're going through that choppy bump, there's less slapping on the water, less resistance, and you're going to end up going forward a lot less than going back.
Yeah, I noticed paddling this board, there's a lot less of that big bow effect. Doesn't feel like you're pushing water like you used to. That's a much quicker, kind of makes it a bit more of an all-around board.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, basically every year we're tweaking it and getting the changes perfect to find that one board to smash the market. And this is very, very close to it.
Yeah, we found it's a good all-around board for our kind of conditions, and the guys in Brisbane and Sydney Harbour are in choppy, rough conditions who find something like maybe the strike a little bit too flat water specific, a bit too tippy. This nose stays up when hitting chop. Side chop is handled quite well. It doesn't have such a squared off rail. It's got a bit more of a rounded rail.
Yeah. In saying that, it is an ocean board, but it will still handle those flat water conditions as well. It's still got a nice parallel outline, nice flat bottom. It will still glide on the flat water as well as smash out in the ocean.
Now, when you race on these boards, where do you usually put your fin if you're running, say, a decent ocean race? In
a decent ocean downwind, I like to put my fin more towards the front. It gives me more maneuverability in the ocean. Downwind racing, it's all about surfing and maneuvering, so definitely have my fin towards the front end of the board to give me that extra little edge. Cool.
Now we got a couple new sizes in this board this year. Our main boards for these are the 14s. Right now you've got the 14 by 26 and 3/4 on here, and then there's a narrower 24.
Yeah, I'm on the 24. That's my go-to board, 24 and 3/4. But if you're that heavier guy and you just want to step up, the 26 is perfect. And then we have the bigger version.
There's a 28 as well.
Yeah, so if you're a really big guy, you got the board for you too.
It's almost like a touring style board.
Yeah.
You can use it for as well. Well, thanks for coming in, man.
No worries.